Alright, how's it going, everybody? So today I want to show you guys how to install a 4-port auxiliary fuel kit. Just kind of like a brief install instruction, and just show you guys how I did it. I had a few people talk to me about this. They were kind of unsure about splicing the wires. They didn't want to cut into them. So I kind of just want to comfort everybody on doing this because, myself, I'm actually not a wire person. Never worked with wires until working on this car, and it's really, really simple. So I'm just going to kind of go through the details on how I did it, and it's so easy, it's ridiculous. All right, here we go. So first off, you're going to have your kit. Now the kit I got is from Elliott Specialized Performance, ESP. Jimmy Elliott is the owner. He's a great guy, and I believe he's out of Texas. He sells the radium kits for the Focus SD and RS, so they're the same exact setup. They come with a 65-pound injectors, and they are Deechworks. And you can also opt for a 90-pound or 1080 IX injector dynamics injectors as well. So those are your options, and it's like the cheapest 4-port kit out there. I think it's under $1,100, so it's like $1,050 right now or something with the 65 pounds. So it comes with your 4-port and all the lines. What's nice is it's returnless, and then it comes with your split-second controller. So when you get this all in a package, obviously now this is all hooked up, so it's gonna be a little different, but I'm gonna kind of show you guys how I did it. So I stuck this controller here, and then it has all this loom, wire loom. That's all it comes with it. Now what I did is I wired it, ran it through here, up in here. Now you can do it however you want, but this is how I did it. I stuck it underneath here, and what I did is I made sure that these injectors are facing this way. Now it's going to come all apart, so you're going to have to put the injectors in the plate, the spacer, and then connect this rail together. And what I did is I also oiled up with the O-rings on the injectors just to keep them lubed up. And so what you want to do is keep these facing this way, just because it's easier to connect and disconnect these. And what I like about this kit compared to, like, say the stratified one I had, and that was actually harder to hook up in terms of, like, there's more crap to do, but as you can see right there, you basically, there's a quick disconnect. And what do you use? I'll show you what I used here. So I got one of these kits here, and I used the yellow one, the smallest one, and I believe I got this like an Advance Auto or something. But you use one of these spacers and you slide it up in there. I'll show you guys. So you slide it up on the stock line, and what it does is you just kind of want to wiggle it and then wiggle the hose at the same time, and it'll pop up. And then this one, you can't do that. So what you do is you take like a small flathead or Phillips or something with a sharp end, and just hit one end and then the other, and you just want to wiggle it off and pry it off, and it'll come off. You can use a flathead on the end too to kind of work it as well. And then all you have to do is connect that line there. This is the supply line, so it goes all the way up to here, connects on this end on the barb fitting, and then it returns and it feeds your high pressure fuel pump. Now what's nice about this is the fuel is always staying circulated. There's no deadheading here. It's always staying cool. You always like to have cool fuel. I don't want fuel in here that's warm, heated up like the stratified kit. It's blocked off right here. So this is really nice as a, setup wise. Now I think the Speed Performance one, their kit, I think, it has like a 90 elbow here, and it runs the line through here, and then it's actually shorter, which is nice, I think, and probably a little bit cleaner than this, but this is really nice as well. I kind of hit everything here. So, and also when you get this all set up, now obviously you have your intake manifold off or apart. You put your spacer in. It has new gaskets. You got the gaskets on the other side of the spacer. You connect the bolts that are supplied with a Allen key, Allen wrench, and then it'll connect. Now what you need to do once you got that on, before you put the intake manifold on, you got to cut the end of the intake manifold. You can't use, let's see that right there, it's cut. You can't use the fifth bolt. Let's see, 1 2 3 4 5, yeah. So so you can't use that fifth bolt, and that's the same with the Stratified kit as well. I don't know about the Speed Performance kit, but probably is the same. So intake manifold doesn't use 5. You cut that little end there off, and I'll show you. I think I have another manifold that's cut. Let me see here. Yeah, right here. You can see where I cut it off. This one was used as well. So there's that. So you cut that off. It's so simple. So once you got it all connected here, it's like 15 foot-pounds of torque for both ends. So the spacer and then this. 12 to 15 pounds of torque. And then when it comes to wiring, so I soldered my connectors. So the far left wire is what you gotta go by. So they do come with like splicing, or what is it? Like those connectors that you can splice into it, and taps, I guess. I don't like those just because they look chintzy, and they're not as reliable. So the yellow wire that comes off the harness here, okay, for the split port, or split second, sorry. The far left wire, what I did is I used like a wire cutter and cut the sleeve off just enough to where I can wrap that yellow wire on the farthest left side and wrap it around, and then I use some dielectric grease after I've soldered it. So I soldered it, then I used dielectric grease. That way there it doesn't corrode. So I soldered it a little bit just to have it where it's enough on each one on the far left wire, like I said. So it's so easy. And then I wrapped it with some cheap electric tape. It's better to actually like get some heat sleeve or sheath, and do a little bit cleaner job than I did. This isn't even high temp electric tape, so it'll end up wearing out faster. So then you do that. You leave these connectors disconnected on the injectors at the meantime. And then, let's see, on this here, so you got the green wire for the map. So this one is also on the far left side. And it's tapped on the far left one. Okay. So you do the same thing. You cut into the sleeving, and then you solder it, wrap it around, solder it, and then tape it up, seal it up with dielectric grease. Over there, it's good there. And then you connect. Basically, you want to run this with the least path. So over there, it's nice and a little bit loose to it. Run it through here. You can't run it down this way. You gotta run it through the intake runner here on 1 and 2. So when you got that connected there, you're all set. I mean, that's it. You got it all soldered up. It's really not hard at all. It's not bad at all. And if you want to just use the taps, that's even easier. You don't even have to cut into anything. The only reason I don't like to use the taps is because they're bulky. They stick out more. The taps that Stratified uses, I think, are a little bit nicer as far as quality goes, and they're not as bulky. They're like the round tower looking taps, and you just screw it in. So that's a nice design to those if you want to use the taps and not like cut into the sleeving. So do that. That's all on. Leave the injector's all unplugged there because you got to test it. And then for the ground on here, I connected it right here to this bolt right here, this ground wire. Disconnected a little end piece, like a little washer end piece thing. Okay. And then the positive, you get one of these. Go to Walmart and get an Add-A-Fuse, 10 amp is all you need. And here, I'll show you. I'll open this up. So in here, this is the one I use. So it's number, was that 43, F43 right here. That one right there. Okay. So you use that one. Goes right in there. I wired it just enough to where I can go and I drilled a little spot there or cut into it. That way there I can close it in. Close that and it'll be like it's stock. Right now it's disconnected because I'm not tuning on 4-port right now. Should be pretty soon actually. So yeah, that's it. I mean, it's a very brief, quick video of the 4-port setup. Very basic, very similar to all the other 4-ports as far as install goes. You know, the only difference might be is the routing of the lines, but the split second is where this is where I mounted mine, so that can be the same if you choose so. And the only difference, like for the Stratified kit, other than it has no return line, there's no line on that end, it just supplies right here. So what it does is there's like a T block right here. It connects to the feed line, so then the stock line still connects to the block, to T section, so you don't disconnect it here. And then you connect the other feed line for the new fuel rail, 4-port fuel rail, to that. That way there it tees off and then supplies it just to right here. So that's the only difference on that. I'm not a fan of that style, just because you're heating up your fuel right here and it's never flowing all the time. So I like this. It's awesome. Yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. We're on revision number 7 right now. Just kind of let you guys know what's going on. We're still on 93 OEM fuel. Revision number 7. Should be going to 4-port 93 here soon, and then I'm going to get some E85. And we'll go from there. So I'll update you guys on that, and hopefully you enjoyed the video.